So guys, welcome to another gardening video on my channel. Today's video we're gonna be talking about all the garden tasks slash chores that you need to be doing in an October garden. So grab your utensils and let's get straight into the video. So one of the first tasks that you need to be doing is planting. It's the right time to be planting, okay? So right now I know for my gardening I want to grow some beetroot. The first time I tried, it didn't really succeed, so I'm gonna try them again. So right now is the time to be sowing your seeds. So we'll have the beans, we'll have the cucumbers, the squash, and also we'll have the beetroot. So these are the crops that you can direct sow. Carrots as well, let me just put that in there. Radish, you know. I have a full breakdown of those crops that you can grow in October. It's gonna show up somewhere. It's gonna show up here, I think, here. So yeah, check that out and you'll know which crops. But right now I want to direct sow some beetroot, and then I can show you how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is get your soil, right? If you have compost in there, just mix it up with the compost so that the soil is right to be grown in there. And then what I usually do is just do some lines over here. I just draw some lines that I put the seeds inside there, and then obviously also water the garden before or after, whichever. I just did it before. So yeah, so then now you just sprinkle the beetroot, and here don't worry about spacing, and the germination will deal from itself. Even if all of these seeds do germinate, then you know they don't really mind, the beetroot don't really mind being closely put together. So just, you know, just have fun with this, man. Sprinkle, get the kids involved, get the dogs involved. Okay, don't get the dogs, but yeah, but then yeah, just sprinkle, and then we just cover this. We just cover, and then if you want to water again, then you can water it for the last time. Just pat down the soil. Just make sure you don't see any of the seeds on the surface, because the birds will have a field day. So yeah, just cover there and then just water afterwards, and you are done. Simple, easy. Then going along with the planting, now we have a tomato here that is growing over here, but it shouldn't be growing over here. So I need to transplant this tomato and put it right there where I want it. There, you see where the trellis is, right where the trellis is, so that I can have all the tomatoes in one place. How do we transplant the tomatoes? So what I would say is, you know, grab a big chunk. You see this is why we have the tools. Don't go too close to the tomato plant. So what you want to do is try and avoid the roots of the tomato. So try and go deep inside the soil, as to not disturb the actual tomato. And don't be afraid if you do. You know, these things are pretty resilient. So then you just lift, right? You see, now we're just lifting, and now we have the tomato. So you see, now we have some of the tomato. So just make sure that, you know, you at least have some soil that you can just pack it with, so that it's not too much of a shock for the tomato. So what you want to do is also then dig up a hole where you want the actual tomato to be, and then we just stick it in, you see. So here we just put it in here. And also there's different methods that you can do this, right? So I've heard of ways that you can put it on its side, the tomato, you put it on its side, and then you fill up like this, and then you also you can put it up like that. I like the simple way. I'm gonna show you this way because this is the way that I usually do it. But if you do want different ways, I know my gardener, he does a lot of these ways of doing it on its side, and also James Prigioni, so those ones also do it on that ways, but I like it this way. And then you just pat down, cover it with some soil, and then obviously you water, just so that you can get it basically acclimated to the soil. And then what I would also suggest is that you remove some of the leaves of this tomato, just on the side. Maybe just leave a few. You see, like that's fine. I think you could obviously also cut these ones off. You see these ones, and that one just helps with obviously the growth of the tomato. So yeah, I'm gonna just now water this, and that's how you transplant. So yeah, you can transplant these crops like this for most of the vegetation that grow. I would avoid doing this with like root crops, so carrots, beetroot, radish. I would probably just stay away from doing like that. Potatoes as well, I would stay away from transplanting it like that. Those ones direct sow, only direct sow, and yeah, you should have good production from them. But the rest you can obviously transplant and do it in that method that I just showed you. Then the next task, maintenance, right? And this involves compost. You can see how many composts I have here. You can see. So this is because I want to fill up all of these, and also basically I don't want to weed anymore. I don't want to physically come out and weed. So what I do is basically just cover it with compost, and that will kill off all the weeds. So you see here I have some grass growing. Here we're gonna put on some mulch. Yeah, we have some compost. Got it from Builder's Warehouse. Yeah, if I think these ones are literally, I bought it because it was the cheapest. I always buy these ones. But yeah, sometimes it differs because I also like Garden Master sometimes. But yeah, whichever one you think is the cheapest or what you can work with. Okay, so we have the compost, we have the patch that we want to put it. Basically, we just cover, right? One thing I would say is that if obviously you have seeds that are growing in here, just be careful that you don't cover them, because you see here I have some lettuce growing. I have some lettuce, and you can see that they're in and amongst the weeds as well. So yeah, we have some spinach also growing on this side next to the lettuce. So you know, if you have, just make sure that maybe you just try and avoid the places that you've planted. Okay, so yeah, basically take your compost and you just cover. So yeah, then you just make sure that now you just make sure that you spread it out a bit, spread it out, and yeah, just make sure again, don't cover the plants that you have. See, just go around it, and yeah, basically this will also now retain moisture. This will add more nutrients to the soil, and then it will also suppress weeds, as we are doing as well here on this side, just to cover. So you see here, I think this is like the length that you want to put. I've bought quite a lot so that I could actually cover most of the weeds. So I'm gonna put another here. I'm gonna put another same bag as I would here, just so that it covers, and then probably another one over here. Okay, so I just put a lot so that it actually covers the weeds. So part of the maintenance, you know, we have stake your crops that grow upwards, stake them, right? So this one, at least luckily I have this trellis. So already this is the tomato that I transplanted, so I'm gonna grow it right by the trellis, you know, right by the beans as well. Yeah, just make sure that you know, your crops that need support are growing up on something, and I would say get it in early as possible, so that they actually so that they already start by growing up on something, and then you're not going on later and they're already dwindling, and you know. So yeah, get it in early as possibly. Yeah, then I would say water as part of the maintenance. Water. The compost will do a nice job of fertilizing. So if you want a natural fertilizer, the compost will really work. So yeah, water the garden, just make sure that everything is still hydrated. Then we have pest control. So pest control, another one. Right now you can put in obviously your herbs, you can put in your mints, you can put in your basil, all of these will help in terms of trying to deter some of these pests. So I've also made a video for this where I've gone into depth of the pests that we usually deal with in the garden, so and then how to get rid of them naturally and also maybe not so naturally. But yeah, that video is up, and if you want me to do another video on a part 2 for the pests, because I know people are dealing with a lot of moles and also monkeys, so that I can add, and maybe a few if you have that I didn't cover in the other one. So yeah, if you have more suggestions, maybe we can get it to at least 5 more not 5 more crops, but maybe 3 more pests that we can work with. Then another task, which is a nice task, is harvesting, right? Here, let's harvest, oh, look at that radish. Right now is also the time to harvest some of the radish. The radish already, it grows really quickly. One of the first growing crops. So yeah, harvest your crops that you have. And also now, I guess when you see now we have some space, so I would plant. We even have the carrots. Let me see if these carrots, because these carrots have been here for quite some time, still doesn't look like they are ready to be harvested. But yeah, just check in and see what crops you can harvest. This also goes for the spinach. See, the spinach also, it's time to harvest those. Make sure that you also have some of those harvested out. So that will bring me to the end of the video. Guys, it's that time to be growing. Okay, so grow. I hope this was helpful. I hope you can use it to now monitor what I should be doing in October. I love you all. Love, peace, grow every single day.